My employment agreement had a forgotten clause, a buyback option for my original startup at the initial sale price if I was fired. After they terminated me, my lawyer simply sent them a check for $1 and a notice. 9 years ago, I was debugging code in a cramped studio apartment when my microwave died. I was eating leftover takeout at midnight, 3 hours away from accidentally building something that would help a massive company avoid $1 billion disaster. Back then, it wasn't a company. It was just me, a whiteboard, and a laptop that sounded like it was dying. My neighbors screamed through thin walls. My idea of luxury was decent toilet paper. But my sentiment analysis model actually worked. Within 18 months, my apartment became an illegal fire hazard of employees. We had 6 people working where 2 should have lived. Our caffeine budget was higher than rent. Then a mid-sized firm noticed us. They made promises. Funding, expansion, mentorship. We want to honor your vision, they said. So, I sold my company for $1. Not a typo. $1 single. The deal gave me equity and long-term influence. But buried deep in the contract was a clause my lawyer, Peter, helped me write. If I was ever fired without cause, I could buy the company back for the same price. $1. You think they'll forget? Peter asked. I laughed. They won't even see it. And they didn't. Not Trevor, the new CFO with his MBA ego. Not Amanda, the VP of brand alignment, who once told me the word data was too masculine. And definitely not the board, who barely read past the profit projections. I stayed on as chief strategy officer. At first, things were fine, but slowly everything changed. Monthly innovation meetings became brand syncs with no engineers invited. They repainted the office in weird pastel colors that gave everyone headaches. Instead of analyzing real user feedback, we ran everything through AI to make it sound more positive. They started talking over me in meetings. Trevor used phrases like market synergies while ignoring actual data. Amanda introduced me as our founding spirit. Corporate code for this person used to matter. I kept quiet. I took notes, and one night at 2 o'clock in the morning, I pulled out the original agreement and found that clause still sitting there. Section 14C, still valid, still binding. First, they got rid of our old whiteboard, the one where I sketched our entire platform. Amanda called it founder trauma during her office vibe audit. Then, they slashed our research budget by 70% to fund a rebrand campaign featuring a cartoon mascot for an AI analytics company. They started firing people, called them redundant roles. When I raised concerns, Trevor smiled and said, "You're emotionally attached. That clouds strategic clarity." That night, I texted Peter, "Pull the documents. If they fire me, we're triggering it." 3 weeks later, our lead engineer told me I was on the layoff list. "They want you out before next quarter," he whispered. "They want to show post-founder independence to investors." I went home and wrote a check. $1 and 0. Memo line section 14C buyback. HR scheduled my termination for Thursday at 4:30. Trevor and Amanda sat there with fake sympathy. "We've appreciated everything you've built," Trevor said. "But we're moving in a different direction." They handed me termination paperwork. Security escorted me out like I was a threat. I gave them my laptop and badge, went home, made tea, and the next morning, Peter mailed the package. The letter was 4 sentences. Only one mattered. "I am exercising my right under section 14C. The check is enclosed." When they got it Monday, Trevor probably laughed. But by Tuesday, their lawyer was panicking. "Have you read this clause? It's enforceable." The startup was never fully absorbed. The entity is still alive. She owns the controlling share now. By Wednesday, former clients started texting me. By Friday, Trevor had lost sleep and Amanda was rage posting on LinkedIn. The board held an emergency meeting. Meanwhile, I leased new office space 2 blocks away. Former employees sent resumes. Our first engineer's cover letter said, "I kept the receipts. Let's rebuild." Within weeks, clients returned. 3 of them funded our relaunch. The old company's stock crashed. Trevor and Amanda resigned. And me. I framed that check on my new office wall, a $1 reminder that arrogance doesn't survive fine print, but carefully written contracts do.